Hey everyone, welcome back to Old World Home. My name is Hillary. Today I'm going to film my annual Wrap With Me Q&A. I asked over on my community tab on YouTube if you had any questions you wanted me to answer while I wrapped, and I can kind of kill two birds with one stone. I've mentioned many times that I am very bad about procrastinating and not wrapping in a timely manner, so this is a good incentive for me to dedicate this time to wrapping presents, getting that task out of the way, and also chatting with you guys at the same time. So because I'm obviously wrapping in advance of Christmas, I don't want my kids to see the wrapped presents. We don't put them under the tree until, they don't see them till Christmas morning. So because I have my Christmas bins that hold my Christmas decor, everything is set up, so these bins were empty. So what I'm gonna do is wrap and then hide them away in these bins, put them back on the shelf, so my kids are kind of none the wiser that there's even gifts in here. So that's how I'm getting away with wrapping in advance. But again, it's gonna save me so much time later, and I can just really relax and enjoy the days leading up to Christmas. All right, so I'm trying to find an angle where you can see me and what I'm doing at the same time. Hopefully this isn't too awkward. But the first question is the one that has 30 thumbs up and 2 replies. It asks, I've always been curious about your extended family, how close they live, how often I spend time with them, etc. So while I answer that question, I'm going to wrap my first gift. These are a pair of shoes for my daughter. They're sort of like those Birkenstock clog kind of shoes. And I'm going to wrap it with this beautiful candy cane and Christmas tree print. So those of you that have been around know that I have a large family and that my family lives pretty close by, at least not every single person in my family, but a good handful of us. But my in-laws and my extended family are not close by. They're actually either out of state or out of the country. So we don't see them as often as my family, but we are still close with them. There's constant communication via FaceTime, texting, all that, phone calls. So we try to see them as often as we can, but that involves travel. So it's obviously not as often as we see most of my family. All right, the next question had 24 thumbs up, and that was, what's the next big project that we plan to tackle around the house? So we have done a lot of projects, and I can't say there's any big projects on our horizon, at least not in 2024. I mean, I guess we kind of have one. So our sunroom, which is here, that door, we do plan to change out some windows in there and get a new door, a new exterior door. So that's kind of a big project. We are not doing it. We are going to be hiring that out. So there might be some sunroom refreshing coming up soon. And then that is sort of an in-progress step towards, we would like to completely refinish our garage, which is through our sunroom. You continue on to the garage. And we would like to one day turn that into either an extra hangout space upstairs, or more likely into a bedroom for my husband and I. Then the kids can kind of spread out a little bit. And that was another question, if we plan to, add any bedrooms or what we're doing as kids get older. So right now we have 3 bedrooms, which works out perfectly. We like to say that everyone gets a buddy. So the boys are together, the girls are together, and my husband and I are together. But we have that extra garage because we have my husband's large garage that he works out of. We don't actually park in our garage. It's really just storage and like an extra refrigerator and things like that. But it would be nice to convert that to our bedroom. So that is a potential project, but that probably won't be for another 1.5 to 2 years, somewhere farther down the line. So with that, I have wrapped one present. I'm going to put a little sticker name tag on it, which I have here in this little Currier and Ives tin that I thrifted. I have my gift tags and some ribbons that I have used. So I'm gonna fill one of those out. I need to get a little marker. So another question was about gift giving and what we give for our kids. And we do try to stick to the 4-gift rule, which I know a lot of people do, where it's something to wear, something to read, something they want, something they need. And we just take that as a loose guideline. So, you know, this is something to wear, but she's also going to get another item to wear. We try to give the kids similar amounts of items, and I like a mix of things that will stick around in the home and things that are consumable that they will play with or eat, and then it's gone and it doesn't have to be in our house forever. So one of the next most popular questions was about Finn, our dog that we got over the summer. How it's going with him, how do we choose his name? So my kids had been wanting a dog for many years, so they had thought about dog names, you know, repeatedly. It is a giant, like, jumbo pack of Play-Doh, and it's actually multiple packs of Play-Doh inside of this, so it's actually pretty heavy, but I think since it's gonna be on the floor, it'll be fine. And I'm gonna wrap it with this Merry Christmas wrapping paper. I actually don't know where I got that because I didn't use it last year. So again, as soon as we got the puppy, as soon as we got him, right away we said, what should we name him? And all the kids said, Finn, that's gonna be his name. So right away, that was a no-brainer. They picked the name. So he is only 6 months old now, so he's still a puppy, but obviously, I mean, I've never had a dog before, so there was an adjustment period to getting used to having a puppy in the house and all the training and everything. But honestly, my husband and my oldest daughter did all the training. I wasn't really involved in that process at all. My husband did all the overnight and early morning training. He's so much calmer, and he's, you know, kind of moving out of that baby puppy phase. Someone asked about how Dan and I met. We are middle school sweethearts. We met in middle school when I was 12 and he was 13, and we liked each other right away, and we, you know, didn't officially start dating until I was a freshman in high school and he was a sophomore, and we have been together ever since. We got married very young. I was 19, he was 20. So that is what, gonna be 18 years this summer, and it's been a wonderful 18 years. All right, a couple questions about like being an introverted mom and just getting alone time, and then also alone time with Dan, since we both have, you know, a lot on our plates. And I definitely have rhythms and routines to my day that I kind of fit in those different things. So I get up early before my kids wake up so that I can have my alone time. I can read my Bible, I can walk on the treadmill, I can take a shower, I can, you know, do whatever it is I want to do in the morning before the kids are up and meeting me. And then in the afternoon, we do quiet time. So my youngest takes a nap, and sometimes my 5-year-old naps or just plays independently for, you know, that time. And I'm able to film videos, I'm able to edit, or do, again, whatever it is I want to do with that time. And then again in the evening, after they go to bed, that's, you know, our time to be together. So we try to have pretty consistent routines and bedtimes. You know, they're not always asleep at a certain time, but we do have a bedtime where everyone's in their rooms, and if they want to read, you know, that's fine too. But, you know, we kind of have those set routines in our day so that I can have some completely alone time, and then Dan and I can have time together. And of course the weekends we have, you know, he's home during quiet time and he's home, you know, during the day. So we get to have that time together too. All right, the next gift I'm going to wrap is for my younger daughter. This is the Green Ember book series. There's 4 books in it. And I'm gonna wrap it with this red version of the candy cane. And the next question is, how do you stay motivated to get it all done and also have time to have a beautiful home? Which, thank you, that's very kind of you to say. And I mean, I've been a homemaker for, again, I got married at 19, so it's been a long time that I've lived on my own. and I've been a mom for 10 years. So just like anything in life, any skill, you start out with a certain skill set and you develop those skills over time. And as you go about your day and your years, you realize the things that don't work and the things that do work. And I can say wholeheartedly, as the years went on and we added more and more children, I can say that decluttering has been an essential part of my homekeeping, and it is just a non-negotiable. Like, I have to get things out of the home or else it just devolves into chaos, and there's just too much stuff. It's clutter everywhere. Everyone is frustrated and can't find things, and things go missing. I also am very much a someone that enjoys getting things done. I enjoy checking things off of my list. I do use a planner. I don't use it every single day, to be honest. More of like a overview of my week, or on a day that I really need to get things done, I will write down a specific checklist of things so that I can stay on task. And I'm very much someone, I've learned over the years, that I will sort of like forecast my day in the morning. I'll kind of have an overview of what I need to get done, and I don't want to say I manifest it, because I don't know if I really believe in that, but I can kind of just see in my mind's eye how the day's gonna go based off of those things that happen every day. Like, we have to eat breakfast, we have to clean up breakfast, we have to do school, we have to go outside, we have to have lunch, we have to have quiet time, and then I pick up the girls, and then we have dinner. And it's like all these things are built into my day. So I kind of see where I can fit in the extra things that I want to do in my day in between all of those other essentials. The next thing I'm gonna wrap is also for Lara. This is a Make Clay Charms klutz kit. I absolutely love these and recommend them to everybody that has boys or girls. They have a great variety of craft kits, and again, this to me is like a consumable. They can use it, they can play with it, it sticks around for a little bit, but it doesn't have to be in your home forever. I've realized, like to reward myself, and it doesn't even have to be in a big way. I'm not like taking myself to the spa every time I do the dishes. Like, I will put off things that I enjoy until after I've gotten done the things that I need to do, that need to be done to keep our home going. So say I got an Amazon package, I'll wait to open it until I've gotten something done that I need to do. Or there's something I want to listen to, like a YouTube video, a podcast, something like that. I can wait to listen to it until I'm able to multitask and listen while I get something else productive done. Which, I enjoy keeping my home. I enjoy having a tidy home, and I'm not hiring a maid to do everything. I'm going to do it, so I may as well make it an enjoyable experience. And I love listening to things and doing tasks at the same time. I think I always get asked during every Q&A if our home is our forever home. And I think, I pretty much answer it the same way every time. I don't know. We have no plans to move anytime soon. We love our home. We love our location most of all. And, we just love, having a smaller home means we have smaller bills, we have smaller maintenance needs. It just works out really well for us. The only reason I would ever want a larger home is simply for the fact that we have a semi-large family. 4 kids I don't think is a large family, but I have a large extended family, and the idea of having a larger space that we could host everybody is, the only reason that I would ever want for more space in our home. I think what we have now is perfect for us, because we also have our finished basement that is just such a blessing and such an awesome kind of like kids hangout space. And as they get older and have more friends over, we're so thankful to have that space for them to spread out. And I think someone else asked if we would ever make bedrooms downstairs or anything like that. No, we would never do that. I would rather just keep that as a hangout space. We did, of course, buy a property with land. So there is the potential that we could add on to our home. We could expand it. But where we live, to do that would basically be the same price as if we just sold this house and bought a home that had the extra space that we may be looking for. So again, all that to say, we're not planning to go anywhere. We love our home, and there is potential to, again, expand the garage, and who knows what the future holds. All right, so these next two are for my older daughter. I got her the Keeper of the Lost Cities book series. I've heard nothing but great things about this book series, and I think she's going to love it. And at the rate she reads, she could finish these in like 2 weeks or less. And I also got for both girls, it's funny, I ordered these little digital cameras because they have one that was like a hand-me-down from my brother, and the quality is not so great, but I think it broke, so I got both of them their own camera. Next question is, how is parenting older kids different than parenting babies and toddlers? Does it get easier, etc.? Mom of a baby and toddler asking. Love hearing about your experiences and perspectives. So I will say, of course, every season of motherhood is challenging and enjoyable in different ways. So my older two are only 7 and 10. So I don't have teenagers, I don't have adult children, but from my own experience, having babies and toddlers, I will say that it is much more physically demanding and draining. You are just constantly tending to their needs and them wanting you, and you're trying to keep them alive. You're trying to, deal with a lot of physical demands. Like, there is no downtime when they are awake because they are constantly getting into things and needing you, and you have to clean them and feed them, and there's a lot more of that when they're young. But as they get older and become more independent, then now I'm dealing more with the emotional side of things and the relational aspect. So in some ways you look back and think, if all you needed from me was a meal and a bath, that seems so much easier compared to nurturing their emotional needs, their spiritual needs. They're becoming, little adults, little people, and, that certainly has its challenges, but also you have the benefit of they can buckle their own seatbelt, they can shower themselves, all that makes some aspects easier and some are harder, and I feel like that is just parenting, and we just take each day as it comes. All right, now I'm going to talk about the big guy for a second pertaining to Christmas, in case any little ears are listening. But we do sign all of the kids' gifts from Santa. So how do we deal with Santa? We don't make a big deal of him. We don't say, we haven't communicated anything about you have to do this, so Santa will do this, and he definitely have to believe in him. We've never done that. We always keep the focus on the true meaning of Christmas, that we are celebrating Jesus coming to earth as our Savior, that he is our gift and he is why we celebrate life in general, but on Christmas too, of course, the wise men bringing Jesus the gifts, and we give each other gifts. And that is really where we put the focus. However, Santa is around. He, of course, is in movies and books. While I continue that conversation, I'm gonna wrap this little gift. This is a little Duplo motorcycle. We have Duplos that Jude loves to play with, and so I love kind of adding in supplemental things, kind of like the Play-Doh, kind of like the Magnetile toy. It's building on what we already have instead of adding a whole different toy and a whole different set of clutter, because we only have very few toys in the house, and we do love Lego Duplos. Oh, and I forgot to wrap the camera, so I can wrap that one too, but I think those are my last two gifts that I have to wrap right now. I do have a couple other things, but I have to see if I have shirt boxes to wrap them. So Santa. So my girls, you know, they don't want anything to do with Santa. They don't believe in it. They just think, you know, he's a fun part of Christmas. But my 5-year-old, he kind of believes. And again, it's nothing that we perpetuate. He just thinks that it's, again, fun. It's a fun tradition. And, you know, just based off of movies and books, he has chosen that he thinks that it's real. And we're not gonna squash it. I know that this is a very limited phase of his life. So we focus on Santa being more of the spirit of generosity at Christmas time. Of course, that there was a real Saint Nicholas that, you know, was very kind and generous, and that Saint Nicholas's goal was to spread the love of Christ to others. I'm not trying to convince them that Santa did bring them these presents. It's just purely for fun. My parents also used to write from Santa on our gifts, and we didn't believe in Santa. So that's probably mostly why I do it. While I wrap the camera, how do I stay calm all the time? Well, you know what I'm gonna say, right? I don't stay calm all the time. I don't think anybody, well, that's not true. I know a few people that have that down much better than I, but I guess I stay calm most of the time, but of course I am only human and I can only be pushed so far, and I definitely am not calm all the time. It's very often not even what's happening in the moment that will set me off. It is a combination of different things that are going on, and then one thing will kind of push me over and, you know, I'm not calm anymore. But it is definitely something I have worked on over the past 10 years of mothering, and something that I pray about constantly for the Lord to give me peace and give me patience, that, you know, I'm dealing with children most of the time, is I'm assuming what you have this question in reference to, you know, and they are still learning, and I don't have it all together, and certainly how can I expect them to have it all together, and to not let them have the power over me, over my emotions. You know, I'm supposed to be the steady, I'm the level-headed person, adult in the situation. So trying to keep that perspective, trying to model for them the behavior that I want to see. I love how this one actually wrapped up. This is the Merry Christmas paper, but at the top it just left this perfect little navy blue spot for a little label. Okay, I did find some shirt boxes. So I'm going to wrap these two different shirts for my daughters. So the first one is this one. I got it off of Etsy. It says, "Hooray, it's Library Day." I just think the imagery is so adorable. I'll link to this shop down below. She had a lot of cute things. And this one's on sort of like an oatmeal colored shirt. So I thought that was so cute. So I'm gonna wrap that one up and answer another question. All right, so I got some questions about YouTube, starting my YouTube channel, what my family thinks about my YouTube channel. So for those of you that are new here, I started my channel 10 years ago when I was home with my first daughter, and I was very into like the blogging world. I had a blog all those years ago. Before I even had kids, I had a blog. And then when I had my first baby, I was sitting down and nursing very much throughout the day. And after watching The Office, you know, I exhausted that option. I needed something else to watch during all that downtime. So I was always into home things and decorating and organizing. I was very into, especially, you know, we had our first home at that time, and I just loved all things organizing. So I somehow stumbled upon YouTube. At that time in my life, YouTube to me was something that you just look up funny videos, or you look up how to do something, It never occurred to me that people had YouTube channels and that you consistently went back and watched the same person and you waited for their uploads. Like, that whole concept to me, I had never even thought of. And this was, again, YouTube was fairly new around that time. This is like 2013. And I remember I did a presentation on YouTube back in college. And even again, at that time, it was still pretty new. So I had all this downtime I needed to fill, and I was working on my blog. And then it was when I did my daughter's nursery that I thought that it would be better shown through video versus just photos and a blog post. So that was my first YouTube video, was my daughter's nursery. And from then I was hooked. I loved filming and editing. I loved, again, following channels and seeing what people were up to and learning from them. I have learned so much from just being a consumer of YouTube that it really, you know, I just love the whole environment of it. I love people creating and sharing what they're into, and likewise doing the same. All right, I think these are truly going to be my last two gifts that I'm going to wrap. First is this shirt for my daughter. I shared this during Vlogtober, this adorable bookworm shirt. And I have a little gift box that I will wrap it in. I mean, the cover is pretty. I might not even need to wrap it, but I just think it's fun to extend the wrapping time, and so I'll probably wrap it. My kids don't watch my videos, so anytime I do this kind of thing, you know, they don't watch them. They don't watch really anything on YouTube unless it's a video that I specifically put on for them. And honestly, I don't talk a whole lot about what I do in front of them. I really try to keep it separate. So as they're getting older, they're definitely getting more aware of the fact that I have a YouTube channel. I mean, they know that I do now, but I don't put a big emphasis on it. I don't talk about it all the time. I don't like self-promote it at all to friends and family. I really kind of keep it to myself, and you know, that's why it's funny if people ever find me accidentally. They'll be watching something on YouTube, they'll be searching for something, and I'll pop up and they're like, Hillary, I didn't know you did YouTube. So I really don't talk about it a ton to people. To Dan, yes, I talk about it to Dan all the time, probably too much, but he's my main sounding board as far as YouTube ideas and, you know, things like that go. But as my kids get older, and it's possible that their friends might start to watch videos and maybe say something to them about something like a gift or something that I've shown, maybe that is cause for me to not share what I get for my kids on a YouTube video. I don't know, I'm kind of torn about that, because I do like to share ideas, because obviously the things that I buy are things that I think are worthwhile and would make good gifts if you have kids of similar ages. But yes, I mean, I guess that is the risk that I take, that they might potentially hear it from a friend. Okay, for real now, this is my last gift. It is a little painting by numbers kit. This is gonna be for Lara, and I got this for free at the free swap. Nothing wrong with giving a free gift, and it is just a supplemental item to all the other things she's getting. Okay, last question is going to be, if I could remove one thing from my daily or weekly routine by delegating or by magic, what would it be? And I read that question, you know, a few days ago when it was submitted, and I actually have been thinking about it ever since, because that is a good question. If I could have some part of my day delegated or taken away, the first thing that came to my mind was cleaning bathrooms, because that is my least enjoyable home chore, and definitely the one that I put off for far too long sometimes. But I mean, no one's gonna come in just to clean one of my bathrooms. And I don't necessarily dislike cleaning my home. I mean, I sometimes find it hard to find the time to do it if I'm doing other things. But I wouldn't say I dislike it or that I would, you know, I'm wishing it away. But the thing that came back to me was, If I could delegate something, it would be someone to edit my YouTube videos, because as much as I enjoy that aspect of it, it does take a lot of time, and I feel like I do a decent job for what I know, but I know they could be better. Maybe one day I will get to a point where, you know, I can hire that out, but for now I will just continue to do it myself and enjoy it for what it is, and hope you guys enjoy them also. All right, so now that I have these all wrapped, I can really see where we are as far as gifts. I mean, I had it all in my checklist, but I can see pretty much all the kids are getting about 5 gifts. That's kind of how it shook out this year. So Evie's totally done. Jude, I do have 2 other things in mind that I was gonna pick up, but they were easy, so I didn't need to, you know, order them. I can still get them. Luke is getting a bow and arrow, so that's one of those awkward to wrap gifts. I think I'm gonna wind up putting that in a gift bag. And then one other thing I needed to order, and then one other thing. So again, an easy thing I could pick up. And then Lara is done, but she's still waiting on the camera. So that's it. Those are all of their gifts for Christmas this year. And of course the girls are also getting the bedding, which will be a nice big present, big thing to fill up the area under the tree. And they all fit perfectly inside of these 2 bins, so I can put the lids on and tuck them away. And with that, I'm gonna sign off on this Christmas wrapping Q&A. Thanks so much for coming along with me today. Have a Merry Christmas season, and I'll be talking to you soon. Take care, guys. Bye.